Hey guys, another quick video. So I'm going to show you how to replace the LCD on an iPhone 6 Plus. We got this one, it's just got a little cracks, but we want to replace it. So we're going to go ahead and take it apart. So this is the new LCD. So you just need three tools. You need a Phillips screwdriver, you need the star screwdriver for the iPhone, and you gotta have a diamond tool to take the screen off. So you go ahead and take off the bottom screws from the iPhone. Go ahead and pop the screen out. It's really easy to do it from the corner here, and it opens right up. And then there's 5 screws that cover the connectors. So you're gonna take those 5 off. Come on. Trying to see if I can get a good angle so you guys can see. Some of these are really complicated to take out. Make sure you keep them in order so you know which one goes where. If you put a longer one in the middle, you could damage the motherboard. And then the video controllers are right below that screw, so you would pretty much break your video controller. You wouldn't have any picture on your screen, so be careful. So once you take all the screws out, this is gonna pop right out. And just disconnect all of the connectors. Make sure you get them all out. And then we're gonna have to take all of these pieces, all of these parts, and put them in this screen, the new screen. So on these we have the I believe it's 6 screws that hold the metal frame, and 3 screws that hold the camera and the speaker. And there's 2 on the home button. So you're gonna start with the well, it really depends on which one you want to start with, but I'm gonna start on the home button. So I'm gonna take these 2 out. Make sure you keep them all with their respective parts. There's another one here that holds the frame. I'm gonna keep it with home button. And then we'll remove the ones on the side. That's one. Once I remove the ones from the frame, I'm gonna take off the ones from the speaker, because one of them actually holds the metal frame too. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the whole frame off. And the speaker's gonna come off. So we keep those together. We take the camera flex is right above the speaker, so it's in between 2 flexes. So we lift it up, we take the speaker out, and then you're going to carefully take out the that would be the light sensor. So use your primer tool or something and do it as carefully as you can, because it's really sensitive. So if you go too hard and it'll break. Then there's the microphone right there. Now also try to find a little edge or something where you can push the flat piece in there, and it'll come right off, and it gets out with the whole plastic and the connector. So we get the microphone, light sensors, and the camera. So keep that aside. And then this metal frame also has the flex cable for the home button. So you gotta make sure when you pull it out, you don't go too hard in it, or you will break the home button flex cable. So you're gonna carefully find, also the same way you did with the camera flex, find the little edge or something where you can push it right out. Again, if you break it, you're done. So that's the home button. Home button's gonna come right off. And then we're gonna do the connector for the home button. Same thing. Find something where you can push it under it and pop it right out. You can also warm it up with heat gun if you're not comfortable with the cold piece. It'll make it easier too, since they're just glued in place. So once we push it out, it'll look like this, and this is the part that we're going to put into the new LCD. So oops. We don't need this anymore. We can also reuse this for when we want to replace the glass in it. That's a longer process. So you just take the protective film of the new LCD, sit it in place, and set the metal frame in place into the new LCD. And the home button, plug it up, put it back in place. This part here goes folded and on top of the metal frame. Some of them come with tape, so you can take that tape off. And then the new LCDs come with a little protective plastic thing where the microphone is supposed to go, so you take that off. Otherwise you're not going to get any sound from the microphone. And make sure you take all the excess off the old microphone flex. So it's going to look like this here, and you can sit right there where the plastic cover was. There's a little hole that tells you when it's aligned and in place. So you sit that in there. So once we set the microphone in place, we go ahead and set the light sensors in place too. So again, remember they fold down and they go straight down, they lock in place. Make sure they're firm. Then remember the speaker goes in between those. Make sure it fits that. There's a hole right there where it fits. Right there, so that's where you're going to fit your speaker. There's this little bump that goes inside that. So we push the speaker right there. Speaker in place, then the flex right on top of it. Push the camera down, make sure the flex fits right, and then you put the cover back in, and the screws to hold it so you don't have to be holding it while you're working on it. The magnet's gonna play with me. Come on. Okay. So there's one screw. And then there's the other one. Make sure your screwdriver is magnetized, otherwise it's going to give you trouble. If you don't have a magnet, you can stick it to the back of that speaker or in the iPhone itself. There's a big speaker with a magnet right there, so you can magnetize your screwdriver there, and it'll be easier to pick up your screws. So once the screws are in place, everything should look flat, no gaps in there, nothing. And we go ahead and place the home button cover. Home button cover right in. Make sure you match the holes in it, everything covered. And then the screws back in it. One, there's two, and then the one that holds the frame. And it's in place, buttons clicking. So again, once you put the screws down, no gaps, no holes, no nothing, everything has to be flat. Now the connectors, you have to make sure that they are in order, and this one here, the one with the speaker, goes behind the one here, so you need to fold it up carefully, and the one in the back has to be in between those. So fold this one behind it, and then this one under it, and you're good to go. So once all the connectors are in place, it has to look like this, like they're not behind or in between any of them. They all have their own connector space, and we're good to, almost good to go. We need to put the screws back for the frame, I'm sorry. So put all the screws back in the frame. It's usually a lot faster, but I like to do it slowly to make sure everything is in place, but it usually takes you like 10 minutes. It's really not that complicated because you don't have to glue anything. Everything comes already pretty much assembled to be opened and closed easily with no problems. So once we put all the screws back in it, we're going to connect all of the plugs into the motherboard. Then you plug it up to the motherboard. Make sure, I would usually turn it off and unplug the battery, but it's a quick fix. Just make sure you don't touch anything. If you can ground yourself with the frame, touching the sides of the frame, that way you won't shock anything in the board. It'll be safer. So make sure you connect all of the flex cables into the motherboard. And now we're going to test it. Set it down from the top, press the power button, and it seems to respond to touch with no problem. And back camera, front camera, and selfie. no selfies. The home button works too, so we're good. Now, lock it. Place the protective metal piece back in there to cover the flex cables so they won't come off. Remember, the smallest one is in the middle one. You don't want to go into the middle one, or you will break your video controller. All of the screws, make sure you put them back in order, and you'll be good to go. Down, 2 to go. Sometimes it's hard to get them in place because they're too tiny and I have big hands. So once you got all the screws in place, it should look like this. Again, no edges, no nothing popping out, everything in place, everything aligned. And put the top first, slide it up, make sure it's touching the frame, no gaps, and then you go ahead and push down the sides, and it should fit right in place. And there you go, you got your iPhone. Now just put the bottom screws back in place, and you are finito. And that's how you replace an iPhone 6 LCD in 15 minutes. It should be 10, but it's okay. So there you go, guys. Any questions, you can post them in the comments. If you like this video, you can like it or share it. And that's it for today. May the force be with you.